It's Monday, the 22nd of June, 2026. We're looking at the scene of essentially shooting for sure. Essentially what happened is at around 11:30 this morning, which, by the way, it's now 8:25. So do the math on that. 9 hours ago, there was a shooter with a long rifle who was shooting at SPVM police officers. And the shooting ended where this white support pillar of the building is. And that little bush is on top of like a plant holder thing. So from what I have seen from videos, let's just zoom in a bit there. What I've seen from videos of the shooting that were taken from the Sheraton Suites, or is that the hotel across the way there? And I'm trying to read the sign. Let's see what my camera can do for me. Okay, Hotel Homewood Suites by Hilton, Par Hilton. So yeah. Anyhow, there's some people coming through the scene. Okay, a police officer in uniform and presumably a plainclothes either police officer or maybe a Bureau d'Enquête Indépendant investigator just walked through the scene. But anyway, getting back to what happened, in terms of the end of the shooting, we can see there's a Porsche car there, the convertible to the right. And what I can see from videos, obviously taken from the Hilton Hotel there, above and looking down. The shooter was basically where you see the smaller heel word on the door, and there was a female police officer sheltering behind where the plant is. We can't see where she actually was because it's blocked by the police vehicle in between. And they were together, a male and female police officer. And from what I could see from the video, the shooter with the long gun shot the male police officer who was not sheltered when he got shot. He was on the other side there of the bush and the pillar. He got shot, and he sort of rolled into the road more or less in front of where the Porsche is. And the female police officer was sheltering, as I said, just to the left of where this plant is, behind the plant holding box. And a civilian, I don't know where he came from, but a man in looked like a dark blue shirt came on her. Okay, so there's some more police officers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so in any case, the civilian, it turns out he was an Israeli citizen. He, I think, was seeking shelter too, and he came around to where the police officer was, the female one, and she pointed her gun at him, and he fell soon after that. However, it's not clear that she shot him. She might not have. She might have held her fire, even though she was startled. And he was shot by the long gun shooter. We don't know which. It's one or the other, almost certainly. Slight possibility he got hit by a bullet from another SPVM police officer shooting towards him, but I doubt that very much. It's far more likely that he was shot by either the female police officer or by the long gun shooter. Although I'm actually leaning towards he was actually shot by the long gun shooter. I think it's quite possible that the female SPVM officer who was startled by this fellow, who was clearly trying to get away from the shooter and seek shelter, I think she may well have held her fire. So here we clearly have some investigators here. Blue gloves. So again, it's a little bit past 8:30. I can see the sun setting below the clouds. Yeah, it's 8:30 exactly. I was actually seeking this angle earlier, but I ran into someone on the other side, because I'm on the other side of Descaries Boulevard. You can hear it. So I've got Descaries Boulevard between me and the scene. It's a few hundred feet away, and I'm using a pretty powerful telephoto lens, 600 millimeters. So, where were we? Oh yeah, so I was on the other side. I came from Plamondon Metro, because I thought Namur, things might be difficult if I tried to come from Namur. So I got off at Plamondon. I sort of meandered my way as close as possible to the crime scene I could get. But I had intended to come here on the other side to try and get a clear view. But the person I ran into, who's a photojournalist, told me he'd already been on the other side and, he couldn't get a clear view. Everything was blocked off. And at the time, going back a few hours now, maybe that was the case. Maybe he couldn't even get in to where I am now. But here I am. And so we actually have a pretty good view here of where the shooting ended, right around that white pillar and the plant holder. And now we have 1, 2, 3 investigators from the look of things. Certainly police. But I see some gray hair there, so it looks like we're looking at some veterans. And let's just come a little to the left here. So there's a few more. Maybe I'll just zoom out a bit. I'm at 600. I'll go out to 500, maybe even 400. So we're at 400 millimeters. And now we will just pan a bit to the right. So we got a less powerful telephoto view of the scene, but you see more of what's happening in terms of the investigators on the scene. So there's a bunch of them. There's like, gosh, almost 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can count 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So there's at least 9 people there. And off to the right, we see the Porsche. That's where the male police officer who was shot, he sort of fell, crawled, rolled in front of it, and that's where he died, unfortunately. I think he might have bled out. There's a fair bit of blood. But he could very well have just be fatally injured. I see the sun going down. It's funny because I normally do solstice sunset alignment shots, and I can see it. I'm almost tempted to do a sunset alignment shot, to be honest. Sort of mark the occasion if nothing else. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I think I've said enough here. Just going to zoom out quite a bit, because there's more to be seen here. There's more police vehicles there, and if we pan over this way, we'll see the solstice sunset there. So let's there we go. Go back out to 600. Oh, this is interesting. So this is the orange julep, I believe, with the solstice sunset. And when I say solstice, because officially it was yesterday, the solstice is actually spread over 3 days, at least. The sun stands still. That's what solstice means. And yes, I'm sort of blending two subjects here. It's going to get a better... so I'm actually getting what I usually would get, which is an alignment of the sun setting or rising juxtaposed with the Montreal landmark, in this case the orange julep. So yeah, in an unusual situation where, you know, I could have found a nice location and got a nice alignment, but obviously there was other things to be taking photos and videos of right now. We'll go back to the scene here. Keep going. There we go. Go up a little bit. Yeah, so now we're back. Let's just adjust the ISO a bit. Okay, so now we're back to the subject at hand, which is the shooting this morning and the investigators. So yeah, oh yeah, and I should pull back the focus a little bit. I adjusted the focus for the sunset. That's pretty good. So again, 1, 2, 3. I think another one behind the board. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I can see 9 investigators, or cops anyway, here in this scene. And as I was saying, so we're at 600. Let's go up to 5 and a little to the right here. So they're obviously discussing things. And so we see a bit of the Porsche. We see the pillar where everything ended. We see the plant holder with the plant in it, where the female SPVM police officer was sheltering behind. I'm looking around behind me. Essentially where I am is across from Descartes Square Shopping Center. There's a parking lot, and then there's a bit of grass between the parking lot and Descartes Boulevard Expressway, and I'm on the grass. And further up, I see someone 150, 200 feet away from me. He's been there for a while. Might be someone else doing more or less what I'm doing, but from a slightly different angle. And I may actually go and see what that looks like. But this isn't a bad angle at all now. Oh! Tripod shifted a bit while I was adjusting things. So yeah, the way I tend to operate is I just shoot raw, unedited video, and it's a little bit stream of consciousness. Okay, sun's down behind the clouds. It's not set fully, but it's no longer visible. There's a little bit of orange gap of the clouds there, but the sun is no longer visible. So ironically, I got my sunset alignment shot for the solstice, one of them anyway, and this very unfortunate crime scene. I believe this is the first time an SPVM police officer has been killed on duty in a third of a century, in 35 years, more than a third of a century. That's my understanding. So a very sad day in Montreal for the, not just the police, but obviously for the police, but you know, for many people, you know, nobody wants to have a police officer killed on duty. I mean, there's a few people who do, but you know, in general, most people don't want that kind of thing to happen. And it did earlier today at around 11:30. And I'm just here to document the aftermath, the investigation, oh wow, we've only got about a little over 5 minutes of recording time left here. I've been talking for a little bit. Let's go to 400 millimeters. Let's pan a little. Yeah, so we got this. Okay, let's actually zoom back in. Okay, so now we're back at 6. So that's the Porsche I was talking about. So we got this female police officer, backlit by the flashing lights of the SPVM police car. We have the Porsche, in front of which the police officer, the male one, died. Not much more to say about that. But essentially, you know, a man died in front of that porch at around 11 this morning, 11:30 this morning. And a female police officer was critically injured, but apparently she's not in a life-threatening situation. And then there was a civilian who was killed, and then the shooter also was killed. And it's not 100% sure how he died. I think the female police officer might have actually got a shot at him, but there was a lot of shooting going on, so he might have got hit, you know, by another SPVM police officer shooting a handgun. And it's some people are thinking he committed suicide, shot himself. I don't think that actually happened. From what I could see, he did not shoot himself. I think he was shot, and he went down, and he tried to get up, and then he was done, kind of thing. And I think some people interpreted that as him sort of putting his own gun to himself and shooting himself. But we're talking a long rifle here. You know, it's not easy to shoot yourself with a long rifle. So I'm pretty sure he was shot by the police. I believe, as I said, I believe the female police officer, after the civilian was shot, she did take a few shots at the shooter herself. And that might be when she was wounded, actually. So it could very well be her that got the shooter, regardless of who shot the civilian. So that's where things are at now. That's my take on things in terms of what I've seen in terms of the videos. I don't know what happened to the investigators. Let's pan off here. It looks like they're gone. I guess oh, there they are. So yeah, it's one of the nice things about having a big, powerful telephoto lens. And I could actually, this is 600 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, this is as far as this lens goes. But I can increase the power if I wanted to. I'm not going to, because this is more than good enough. But I could actually triple the power of this lens if I wanted to. But it would also decrease the light by 3 full f-stops, so it's not recommended. We're already at 1250 ISO, 30th of a second shutter speed, f11. I could open up a little bit, but I'm using f11 to have high optical quality and good depth of field. Let's shift to the right here. I think the investigators may be closer to the scene. No, I don't see them there yet. But it's interesting how this police car has the flashes going. I have a feeling they could have been going for quite some time now. This might be a car that was at the shooting 9 hours ago, so the battery's holding out very well if these flashers have been going since 11:30 or so this morning. So I see someone with a cell phone about 50-60 feet from me. He's just saying a thing or two, but I still see this person, like I said, about somewhere in the order of over 150 feet, but less than 200 from me. And it looks like it might even be 2 people. So I might go and see what they're up to. They might be real professional journalists, or they might be someone like me, like a citizen journalist, as it were. 18, 17 seconds left, so we're done with this stream of consciousness clip. I'm just going to see if we can see the investigators. Nope. I think we're done with this clip.